Knead in some lime green colouring to a mixture of equal quantities of flour paste and sugar paste. Press a small piece of paste down firmly into the mould cavity. Roll over with a non-stick rolling pin to make sure the paste picks up its patterning. Hold a scraper at a slight angle and cut away the excess paste, keeping downward pressure with your fingers ahead of the blade to stop the paste from being pushed out of the mould. For more detailed hints and tips on using the CelShapes moulds in general, refer to our How to use the CelShapes moulds video tutorial. Rub the back of the paste to smooth any rough edges before turning and removing the next section of excess paste. Release the paste from one side of the tile cavity using a fine bladed palette knife and peel very gently away from the cavity like you would removing a sticking plaster. Moisten the reverse of the tile and press onto the side of the cake, making sure the join is neat between it and the neighbouring tiles. Measure the final gap and adjust the width of the tiles by stretching or trimming as necessary. Trim the tile using your palette knife and a template as a guide so that the tile is the perfect dimension to fill the last gap in the border. Mix a tiny amount of vegetable fat into some powdered food colouring and paint the raised stripes using a paintbrush. Attach to the cake sides straight away. Any colouring straying onto the tile background can be removed using a craft knife. Cut 2 board edging strips from the outside edges of a striped tile. Discard the central portion. Moisten the back of the strip and attach around the cakeboard. Mould 4 quarter tiles and rotate to create a full flower. Mount onto an additional piece of paste and add a yellow ball of paste, then texture to make the flower centre more prominent. Colour and shape are important factors when designing your cake top feature. Melt some chocolate and pour into a cavity. 85 grams should make approximately 12 tiles. Tapping the mould will spread the chocolate and make sure that any air bubbles raise to the surface and pop. Add peppermint into some paste to flavour and make some tiles. Trim the edges slightly so when attached to the back of the chocolate they leave an edge showing. Chocolate tiles can be used to make impressive homemade desserts. Lay a cake and icing to make a cube of cake. Attach tiles, add icing and fruit to create your perfect design. A cylinder can be cut from a cake using a round cutter to make a roll. Mould an elongated marzipan tile and wrap around the cake. Trim circles from tiles to use for the ends of the roll. Paint the stripes as required. All you need is your imagination. The designs made possible with CelShapes tiles are endless.